All right, what is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly leveling up episode where every single week I come to you with different tips, tactics, and strategies to help you continue to level up in your own personal success journeys. All right, so on today's leveling up episode, I'm going to break down how to push through those bad, those terrible, those shitty days that we all have, that we all experience, that can throw us off so easily, how to continue to push through those shitty days regardless, so that way you still perform, you are still doing those necessary actions that you need to do on those hard days to go out there and make your goals a reality. So I got 7 different things I'm going to walk you through here, 7 tips when it comes to this, things that I personally do that I have learned to go out there and adopt and do to push through those tough times. Because again, the reality is, man, we all have those hard ass days. We have those days where we get, sucker punch, gut punch, whether it be something personal, maybe, man, we just have a bad argument with our significant other. Now we got to head to the office and then try to perform at work. We get some bad news, personal life, business life. You have a bad negative situation with a client, a deal falls out, whatever. Those things that, again, can just, man, boom, gut punch us, make us feel like shit. Well, we still need to perform. One thing that is really important to know and understand when it comes to creating the successes that we want to create is we must perform regardless of that emotional state. Whatever's going on, it's he or she that is able to perform those right necessary actions on the most consistent long-term basis that is going to be most successful. There is no magic pill that exists out there. The only magic pill that I've ever found to exist out there is consistency. Well, how do we perform, when we just feel like shit mentally, physically, whatever that may be. Now, real quick, before we jump into this, make sure that you go check out gsdmode.com for more additional free training, free resources on there. You can check out my free ebook. You can check out my 3-hour in-depth masterclass right now. If you're a real estate professional, I highly recommend that you go check this out right now. It's how to go out there and navigate this challenging market, these challenging times, and create success regardless. Also on there is my coaching program. So at gsdmode.com, you'll see a coaching tab link on there. Can learn, see a bunch of testimonials and hear about the results and successes that others have had through my coaching program. You can schedule 100% zero pressure discovery call with me personally. Again, 100% zero pressure. I can walk you through what the program is, also answer any questions about it, plus talk about your business to the point where even if you decide that my coaching program isn't for you, I'm going to make sure that this call is still extremely valuable for you with that. So if you're looking for the most effective but also most affordable coaching program, go check that out. Okay, let's jump back into the topic at hand. So I'm going to walk you through the 7 different things that I do to continue pushing through these shitty times, right? These shitty days, these hard days, whatever. We cannot only perform the necessary actions when things are going good, right? Like you're going to have times, maybe it's your health. You're going to have times where you're like, holy shit, man, my energy's feeling down. I don't feel like eating these healthy foods. Like, man, I want to go eat that bowl of pasta. That feels so good, sounds so good. I want it so bad. You want to cave into it because maybe you're not feeling good, mentally feeling, whatever. No, we got to go out there and learn to perform regardless of that mental state, physical state, emotional state. All right, so step number 1 is more of just this mental philosophy to understand. And it's just this. It's understanding that in order to make our goals a reality, we must be fully committed. What is commitment, right? Because success is only reserved for those that are truly committed. So what is committed? Committed is doing the necessary work, the necessary action steps, regardless of our emotional state, regardless of our physical state, right? We're going to do the shit we know we have to get done, the shit that we know we need to get done, the shit that we said that we were going to do, regardless of our mental or physical state. So step number 1 is just to remind ourselves of that. Right? So, because that's that mental, that internal inner voice, right? Oh, I don't want to do this, man. I'm having a bad day. I'll do it tomorrow, right? I'll put it off tomorrow. The problem with tomorrow is always the busiest day of the week, but it never comes, right? Because then it's, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and then we delay it, then we delay it, then we delay it. No, we need to do it now, right? Committed is, oh man, I know I still got these 40 calls I need to do inside my CRM today, but man, I just had this deal fall out. I'm feeling like shit. I'm feeling defeated. I'm feeling bad. Oh, I got a headache. I'm feeling dehydrated. I'm not feeling the best. Oh, I'll leave those for tomorrow. No, right? Like committed is, okay, yeah, man, that situation may have sucked, but I'm going to get these done regardless because I got to get this stuff done. So, step number one is just understanding that. But then it's not enough to just understand that, know that. Like a lot of times we have to remind ourselves of that, right? So it's, hey, never sacrifice. There's always quotes that I'm always having in my own head because I have that internal inner voice just like we all do, right? Like I said, these are 7 things. I mean, I have, I don't know, 30% of the time, maybe, bad days where I got to perform regardless. Maybe it's not quite that much, but I don't have, every day isn't just sunshine and rainbows for me, and the more businesses that you create, the more success that you create, the bigger the problems that you have, and then we've got family, I've got 3 kids, I'm married, trying to balance all this stuff, put all this stuff to, like shit's coming up, things are happening, all these things, like I got to perform regardless. Right? So I have to have this reminder. One of the things I'm always reminding myself of, and sometimes multiple times throughout the day, is never sacrifice what I want most for what I want in the moment. That one comes up a lot for me, right? Especially like when it comes to working out and dieting, and when I just want to chill on the couch, or I want to eat that, a meal that would taste a lot better in the moment, but I know isn't aligned with those goals. But same thing in business. That shit comes up too in business, right? So, but sometimes we just need those reminders, right? So again, and then just that. So never sacrifice what I want most for what I want in the moment. And then I'm always reminding myself, success is only reserved for those that are truly committed. 99% of the human population are only interested. They are not committed. Interested is, I'm only going to do these things when it's convenient, when it serves me, when I feel like doing it. Success is not reserved for the interested. The interested is where they're going to live amongst mediocrity. They're never going to go out there and level up in life, in any aspect of their life, right? Unless they're committed to that aspect of their life. If they're anywhere that we're operating with a half-ass, mindset or half-ass effort, we're going to get half-ass results. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to take place. So it's reminding ourselves of that. Okay, then number 2, right? This is where we then assess. So we're going to reflect. We're going to assess. Okay, what took place? Right? Well, what put me in this bad mood? What got me angry? What got me pissed off? What got me sad? What got me defeated? Whatever that emotion is that's creating that mental or physical state, I'm going to assess it. I'm gonna take an objective view where I step back from it, and I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna ask myself. I'm gonna identify. What led to this? I'm going to identify. Okay, what can I do to then immediately turn this situation around? Sometimes that situation can't be immediately turned around, right? But I'm going to try to put a plan together if I'm able to. And then I'm going to look at what can I learn from this scenario? What can I learn from this situation? So we're going to assess this. One important thing to understand is, in order to create success, there's an element of stoicism that we all must adopt. And what is stoicism at the core? Stoicism, or being a stoic, is controlling our emotions. Whether you want to call it stoicism or spirituality, I guess spirituality can go down this as well, at least with the spirituality books that I've read. One of the best ones I've ever read, a mentor of mine had me read it, which is called Conversations with the Masters by Anthony DeMello. I've read that book. I've listened to the audiobook, I should say. I haven't physically read it. Like audiobooks better. But I've listened to that book probably a dozen different times, dude. Right? I mean, it's such a dope book, and it's taught me a lot. It allows you, but with that, it's okay. We're not going to allow ourselves to react to the emotions that we're feeling. Right? You understand that you're feeling the emotion. You understand that you're experiencing that. So instead of me being, man, I'm fucking angry, I'm fucking pissed off, and then go act in a pissed off manner, okay, I'm gonna just have the realization that I'm experiencing that feeling. I'm gonna detach from that emotion. So it's almost like taking a third party objective view, where, like you're instead of being you in the driver's seat, like you're moving yourself over to the passenger seat where you're reviewing yourself. And just observing yourself. Okay, well, why am I feeling this? What is going on with this? Right? And then detaching from that, so then we can have that objective, almost third-party view of what led to this. What can I learn from this? What can I do to overcome this? What do I need to do? And how do I need to respond to respond in a non-emotional, professional manner, right? So with that allows us in every situation, right? So like maybe I'm, I don't know, having an argument with one of my kids, or somebody that's, important to you. Okay, well, instead of just reacting in that emotional state, right? Well, if I can have awareness of that emotion, what I'm viewing, I can assess it, I can analyze it, then I can think about this objectively and think about, okay, how do I need to react in this moment based on what I want most out of this situation, out of this thing, right? Well, then now I can respond, not react, but respond in the most best way in that moment, instead of just being an emotional, reactive, responding in an emotional, reactive state that then I live to regret. So we got to be able to detach from our emotions and be able to reflect and assess those emotions, take that objective element of those, right? But the best way I found to do that is to just take a break. Right? Okay, I understand that I'm feeling angry. I understand that I'm feeling sad. I understand, okay, well, let me just take a pause. Let me maybe pull out a piece of paper and let me reflect and assess this. Why am I feeling this? What led to this? Okay, well, what can I do to solve this? What can I do to turn this around? What can I do to fix this situation? What can I do to learn from this situation? What do I want most out of this situation? And what can I do and how should I respond in this situation, to go out there and turn this from a negative to a positive or whatever that may be, right? Now, sometimes it's like, okay, man, I'm feeling physically ill. Right. Well, maybe there might be things to do that I can turn this around. Sometimes there isn't, but I can assess this and be like, okay, well, what led to me getting physically ill? This happened to me just the other day, man. I had the worst fucking pounding headache, right? And, but I had to perform regardless. So I did all these things I'm going to walk you through here today. But I started assessing it. I'm like, well, what led to this headache? And I realized, dude, I didn't drink my regular gallon plus of water a day that day. It's, 100 some degrees outside. I had all these back-to-back podcasts, webinars, and I got to be careful when I manage my water inflow on those days, because it's like, sometimes when I'm on a 3-hour meeting or a 3-hour webinar or whatever, I can't take a break in the middle of it to go take a piss. It's TMI here, But anyway, as I assess this, I'm like, okay, well, dude, like I need to drink more water. But I understood that headache was from dehydration. It was because I didn't drink water. Okay, I need to get my water intake up. Pounded some more water, right? And I'll go through these other steps. So I still performed though. I didn't, bitch out. I didn't puss out. I didn't go, I need to just take off for the day and go, take a nap. No, I still had a bunch of shit that needed to get done that day, right? So whether it's physical, whether it's mental, that becomes a really important element there. Okay, so then the third thing. So number one is to, again, understand we got to be committed. And committed is doing the necessary action steps regardless of our emotional state. Number two is assess what's causing those things, operating from a place of stoicism, if you will, detaching and being objective about that. We already broke those down. Okay, the third step is to now review your goals. Right? So your 12, what's your year goals? What's your long-term goals? What's the long-term objectives? Right? Because again, we never want to sacrifice what we want most for what we want in the moment. So we sometimes need to re-break down our goals. And this is what I always do in these moments. Because in these moments, it's so easy to cave into these emotions. It's so easy to give into them, right? Where, oh man, I'm just having a bad day. I'm just going to go chillax. I just need to go home, take a break, take a pause, take a nap, chillax, and then I'll come back fresh tomorrow, right? Well, a lot of times tomorrow never comes. Now if that is, absolutely necessary and there's no other solution and that's what you need to do, maybe that's necessary in that moment, but usually that isn't the answer, not at least in my personal experience that I have found. So now I want to review my goals. So now I can get excited about them, right? And even if I can't create the excitement that I want, at least I know the objective at hand. I know not to sacrifice what I want most for what I want in the moment. Okay, fourth step is 10 reps of a breathing exercise. So it's called a 4-7-8 breathing exercise. So we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, for 4 full seconds. So we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. We're going to hold that breath for 7 seconds. And then we're going to breathe out slowly for 8 seconds. Like pretend like you're breathing through a straw. So right, put your lips together, Pretend like you're breathing through a straw and breathe out for 8 seconds. So breathe in, a deep breath in for 4 full seconds. So 1,000, 2, 1,000, or, get a timer, right? Pause, hold it for 7 full seconds, breathe out for 8 full seconds. I'll do 10 reps of that. Now, I don't know all the science behind this, all the physiology behind this. I don't know the rhyme to the reason by this. I've just had several of my great mentors that have told me to do this, and it works wonders, man. It refocuses you, calms you down. I don't know, again, why it works. I just know it fucking works, and it's powerful, and it's amazing, right? Anytime I need to get refocused, so even between meetings, if I'm going from this meeting to this meeting and I need to get refocused, regain my focus, go to the next meeting, I'll repeat these as well. So fourth is 10 reps of your 4, 7, 8 breaths. Okay, then the fifth thing that I do, so I do all of these, right? These are all these 7 steps is what I do here anytime this is going on. All right, so the fifth thing is to move your body. Right, so our physiology, when we get out there and we start moving, right? So a lot of our overall, physiology then changes our mood, and it can have such an impact on our mood, right? So my preferred way of movement is I'll go do a 5-minute walk, and it doesn't take a long time for this. Even 2 minutes, even 1 minute makes a big difference. But I'll go, my preferred thing is 5 minutes of just a slow walk in the sunshine outside. Now, let's say it's pouring down rain, it's the middle of the winter, or I'm in a situation where I can't get outside, or right now when it's freaking 120 degrees outside here in Phoenix, Arizona, maybe I don't want to go for a walk, and that I still will because it's only 5 minutes. That sweat makes me feel a little bit better, warming up, get that vitamin D, but there's times where I can't. So in those situations, what will I do? Well, I'll either walk around my office, right? Okay, if I'm in a situation where I can't walk around, I've been in those situations before. Then from there, okay, I'll get up and I'll still move, right? I'll do like 10 just body squats. I'll do some calf raises, and I'll just kind of, get my body moving, get it loosened up a little bit, but I'm just telling you, like when you changing your physiology will change your mood. Just gets the blood flowing, gets a little bit of those endorphins cranking, right? Gets, that stuff flowing. Okay, so step number 6, now I will review everything that must get done that day. Right? So, okay, what are the things I have to get done now that I've assessed the situation? I've understood I got to be committed. I've reminded myself I got to be committed. I've assessed and reflected on the situation. I've done my breath work. I've got my body moving. Now I'm reviewing, okay, like what's my checklist? What are the action steps I need to complete now today? And then that 7th step is just to get back into fucking action. Now we're just going to get back into action. And sometimes, you're like, well, shit, I still have the feeling. I'm not saying that this is going to magically disappear the emotions, right? Sometimes I find that, hey, man, it makes that emotion go away. Now I'm ready to rock and roll. I've got a game plan in place, but sometimes it doesn't, right? But either way, I still got to get in action. It just helps me get into action, right? Because this Leveling Up podcast is how to push through those bad days, those hard days, those shit days, and get things done regardless. Well, sometimes we still are feeling like shit, and it's still that hard day, and we got to perform regardless, but again, it helps just put us back in that state. It helps us take that needed, necessary pause. And all of these, this might sound like a lot, but all of these, I can have done in like 10, 15 minutes. Like, it's just kind of like if I just take a 15-minute pause, reflect on this, break it down, re-review my goals, right? Get my body moving, do my breath work, review my tasks that I got to do there and get back into action. Like, this isn't like I got to take 2-3 hour break, right? Like, this is a, pretty quick thing. To go out there and do, but it just keeps us in action. This is what I've found that works really well for me. And you guys, like I've had, just like all of us, man, I'm not going to compare my days to your days because we all have those days where we have bad days, but we all experience them. Or have experienced them and will experience them. The key is how do we get ourselves to continue to push forward regardless of what we're experiencing? So these are those steps. I highly recommend to go test them out, go try them. Would love to hear back from you on the differences that they're making for you. It's been a game changer for me at least, right? So anyway, I hope that this is helpful. Again, make sure to check out gsdmode.com if you are interested in being coached and mentored by me personally. If you're interested in taking your real estate, whether it's your individual gateway agent, team leader, or broker owner, and you want to take your business next level, you want to ensure that you crush and murder your real estate goals, and you're looking for the most effective coaching program, hands down, in the industry, with me, the most effective coach in the industry, also just happens to be, I made it where it's the most affordable. Check out gsdmode.com, click that coaching tab. You can schedule a one-on-one discovery call with me personally. It's going to be me that shows up for the call. We're going to jump on there. It's a zero pressure discovery call. Not going to push you, not going to pressure. If it's for you, cool. If it's not for you, that's okay too. Going to spend about 15 minutes talking about the coaching program is, answering questions that you have, whatever. The rest of the time, we're going to talk about you, talk about your business, where your business is at, what obstacles you're experiencing. So whether you decide this program is for you or not, I want to make sure that this call is extremely valuable for you. So if you want to schedule your zero pressure discovery call with me personally, go to gsdmode.com, click on that coaching tab, schedule that call with me immediately. All right, guys, keep crushing it. Truly appreciate your support. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.